Today I want to talk about the narrative essay. And if you recall in Module 1, when we started talking about the setup of an essay, we had it set as a 5-paragraph essay. And the first, you had the upside down triangle, and that was your introduction with your thesis statement. The thesis statement for the 5-paragraph essay had 3 parts, 3 reasons that you use so that you can write about those 3 reasons in your next 3 paragraphs. And if you recall, those 3 paragraphs were your 3 body paragraphs. Each body paragraph referred back to one of the reasons in your thesis statement. And then the 5th paragraph in our regular 5-paragraph essay is the concluding paragraph. And with that paragraph, you restate the thesis a little differently from the way it was stated in the introduction, and then you kind of wrapped up all of the main points that you wrote about in your 3-body paragraph. I also mentioned to you that when we write the narrative paragraph, we still follow the 5-paragraph setup. However, it's going to look a little bit differently because we are telling a story in a narrative. And if you've read the material in Module 2, you started to write a thesis about a topic that taught you a life's lesson. And if you recall high school literature, or if you recall watching any type of movie, especially an action-packed movie, you had different sections to this story or this movie. And we want to look at these 5 sections so you know what to put in the 5 paragraphs for your narrative essay, which will be your first full-fledged essay for Composition 1. This diagram that is facing in front of you here is referred to as the plot structure arc. And instead of having the triangle and the 3 rectangles and another triangle, what we have here is a diagram that kind of shows you the way the action is going to go in a plot structure. If we look down here, I just want to show you this first. We are beginning our essay, and like the introductory paragraph in a normal essay, we call this the beginning or the exposition. We're setting up. Now remember, we are telling a story, so in this setup we want to talk about the background. Then all of a sudden we have the rising action. Something's happening in this situation. The story is beginning. We get to the top, and that's referred to as our climax. Whatever's going on, whether it's something emotional, something physical, something exciting, something depressing, right here, this is what has occurred. This is the big idea that's going on, and this will happen in your 3rd paragraph. Once something happens in our story or our narrative, then we have the following action. We're moving away from it. We're telling our audience what was a result of that climax, that rising action. Then we had the climax. Now things are settling down. And then, of course, our 5th paragraph is like our conclusion. It's the end. It's the resolution. What did we learn from this story that took place in our lives? I just wanted to go over this plot structure with you. Now we can take a closer look at it. We talk about here, what is plot? What is plot structure? And again, this is the main story arc of a narrative work. The structure is one of a set number of plans in which to tell a story. And these are the 5 areas, just like the diagram we looked at the bottom. The introductory paragraph is referred to as an exposition. In this paragraph, you are setting the scene. Anytime you're telling a story, even to a friend about a movie that took place, you immediately tell that friend, the why, where, how, who. Well, you're doing the same thing if you're relating something that happened in your life. What year did it take place? What was the setting? Who were the characters? So you want to initiate your reader to get them into that story so they can picture this place and this action in their minds. Then once you have written that introductory paragraph or the exposition, the last sentence is actually going to be your thesis. And from this thesis, you are going to tell what happened or what lesson it was that you learned in this narrative. From there, you move to your second paragraph, which is the same as your first body paragraph. Now you need to start to talk about what occurred. What did you do? Or what happened to you that started the movement in this story? Once you have that completed, you move to your third, what we would say, paragraph in our essay, and this one is called the climax, the point of the highest emotion, the turning point of the narrative. Usually something happens here. Once this paragraph is completed, then you move to the following action. It's the resolution of your crisis. Something happened to you, and this was the result of it. Once you have ended that, we know what happened to you, then we move to our concluding paragraph. In French it's called the denouement. It's the untying of your plot. It's the resolution. What did you learn here? What happened here? What lesson did you learn? Which of course is going to be the assignment that you are going to follow. So when you write this narrative essay, we want you to have 5 paragraphs, and in each paragraph, these items should be followed for you to tell your story. Because we want your story to have action, we want something to have happened, we want it to have ended, but then in the very end, that last paragraph, we want you to tell us what kind of lesson did you learn.